Hi everyone, welcome back to this video. Today we're gonna study about what are Python tuples. Already we studied about what are lists, strings, and moreover about the data types. And even though we studied about the type conversions, what are the type conversions in Python, and moreover your introduction. So today we're gonna study about in detail about tuples. Now, how your tuple is created, how to assign a tuple, how to delete a tuple cannot delete it, sorry, but how to exchange the tuple in a forwarded part. What is the difference between list and tuples? And however, your tuples can be defined with similarly conditions. So, in this video, we will learn about what are tuples, how to create them, what is the use of them, and various methods you should be familiar with. Now, what is the difference between list and tuples? A tuple in Python is similar to the list. The difference between the two is that we cannot change the elements of a tuple once it is assigned, whereas we can change the elements of a list. Shooting forward is Python tuples. So tuples are exactly very same to the list. Instead, the one difference is there that they are immutable, which means that they cannot be changed. And even though they can create and they are created using the parenthesis rather than your square brackets. What is the advantages of your tuples over list? Already I discussed with you that we generally use the tuples for heterogeneous, that means it is different data type. Whereas in your list, it is homogeneous, which means it is similar data type. So you need to remember two things. There is heterogeneous and homogeneous. Heterogeneous means it is different and homogeneous means it is similar data type. List is used for homogeneous data type, whereas tuples are used for heterogeneous data type. This is a very great example and the biggest example advantage of your tuples over the list. Number second is that your tuples are immutable, which means we cannot change it. Iterating through a tuple is faster than with the list. Now comes an important point like why the tuples are immutable. Iterating through a tuple is faster than the list. Now comes is a point, what is iterations? Already I told you the meaning of iteration and the list too, but still in the tuples I still tell you what is the meaning of iterations. So iterations are performed through for and while loops. So further we can add upon this iterative task can be accomplished by the following loops, that is either for loop or for the while loop. Moving forward to the third point, what are the basic more advantages of your tuples over the list? The tuples are the immutable that contains the immutable elements that can be used for the dictionary. Now in dictionary we will study about there are two parts, that is key, that is your key and value in your dictionary. They have two. In the list or the tuples we used to write only single element, that is either we are giving to a alphabet, your number or any of that. But in tuples we use, while in your dictionaries we used to give a key, a value in that. Number fourth is if your any of your data, that means that it has a value that we cannot change, that means tuples with guarantee to remains a writed product because we cannot overwrite it. Creating a tuple is very good part. Creating a tuple means it is created by placing all the elements or all the items inside a parenthesis, that is circular bracket, and that each the tuple or each of your elements are being separated by the comma. Your parentheses are very much optional, that it is not only and only like whether you have to write it or not, and even though it depends upon you, but while using your parentheses it looks good and it obviously it is your practice only, because we use in a list also, string also. Then you will not remember like, okay, we have to use the parenthesis in this or not. If you can use it also, it is also the good part. A tuple can only and only have in any number of your items. That means it can be of different data types: integer, float, list, string, and many more. And even I will perform an example. Even you can see in this, my tuple has been created. It is an empty tuple, and if I'll print like this, the output would be the null. Okay, and moving forward, if I'll place this, the output would be my 1, 2, 3. Even if you will not use the brackets, the outcome would be the same. If I'll use the this see this example, I haven't used the parenthesis, so the output is still coming 3, 4.6 and dot. Okay, that's how you can prevent. Now let us do one example. My tuple, I'll create a tuple. This is for the tuple part. Okay, and I'm creating is at my tuple, and this is the empty null. Print. If I'll print it my tuple and run this program, the outcome is still same, the null brackets. Okay, it haven't contained any of your value in that. Okay, if I'll write some values in it, 1 comma 3 comma, and if I'll run this, the outcome is 1 comma 2 comma 3. But what if I'll remove the parenthesis? The outcome would be the same, that is 1 comma 2 comma 3. So there is no compensation like, okay, you have to use a parenthesis or not. It only and only depends upon your criteria to write it, and it obviously looks suitable, and more of the often like it looks nice. What if instead of it, I'll place some more strings or numbers or float in it? Okay, I'll place one string, that is hello. We are performing the same example as mentioned in that. Hello. Okay, now I am declaring one float. Okay, let us run this. So the output is 1 comma hello comma 3.4. Here is integer, string and float both. Right of it. Okay, this is of creating your tuple. Of creating your tuple, and in your tuple we perform the null value also, having some value also as an integer, and then we have a value of integer, string and that float. Okay, in this we can also add some of your list elements also. Okay, suppose if you have to write this and add some list values, 8 comma 4 comma 9. Okay, I've written this. If I'll print it, you can see the value will obtain as fully. List is also there, and I have replaced a list in this. A tuple can also create without any of your parentheses. Just remember that, and without using parentheses, it is known as the tuple packaging. Okay, what it is known as? It is known as a tuple packaging if we don't use your parentheses in it. Moving forward to that, let us like have one more example of tuple unpackaging. Okay, if we don't have to maintain that, let us try. If I'll write this tuple only, if I'll print I'll write that this is the tuple unpackaging. This is also possible. If I'll write a comma b comma c is equals to my tuple. Okay, I'm writing this, that a comma b comma c is my tuple. Print my tuple, or I can write print a, print b, correct. The outcome you can see is, first of all, we'll see the output of your the first command, the first outcome command, that is print my tuple. So print my tuple, it will print whole of your element, that is 1 comma hello comma 3.4, correct? Then I have assigned some of the position to my tuple. The A position will go to the assigned by the 1, B will go to the hello, C will go to the 3.4. When I print A, the value will be 1. Print B, it will be hello. And print C, that is 3.4. And this is known as the tuple unpackaging. Okay, and tuple packaging, tuple unpackaging, both are correct. Okay. Now we'll go through more of your upcoming slides. Now comes is you creating your tuple is obviously very much tough. We perform these examples too. Okay, it is actually the toughest part to create your the tuple. Having only one element with a parenthesis is not an enough part. We can already need a comma also to indicate that it is the fact of your tuple. Now you can see in this program, it resembles the classes, the types of your tuple. We read in the very first video or the very second video, I still remember, we read about the types, classes. Okay, in classes we studied about float, integer, then it was string, then we studied about boolean, complex. Similarly will be happening with your my tuple also, in your tuple in your Python also. Now we will resembling out the classes. Okay, now how we will resembling the classes, let us perform one more example of resembling your. See, it is very important if you are learning something and experiencing your programs, it is very much important to write down. Okay, to just resemble it on some your IDE. Okay, if I'm printing, I'm just writing my tuple is equals to hello, and I want to print the type of what? My string. I'll print the type. किसकी हमें type चाहिए? My string की हमें type चाहिए. Okay, when I'll print this, the outcome will be string. Obviously, it is the double parentheses and characters, so it is string. If I'll replace this and I'll write, well, now again I need a class of my tuple. The outcome will be, sorry, this is comma. The outcome would be your end. 12 is your end only. If I'll write 12.666, the outcome would be float. Correct? So this how the observation is done. Okay, this how it has to be obtained with the various formulations. If I'll write this, let us print in the complex too. Okay. I think this complex is not a variable or what. Okay, let us do on your float only. So it is the class of your float. Correct? Now moving forward, sorry. Yeah, how to assess your tuple elements. Okay, what is your purpose of assessing your tuple elements? There are many various ways in which we can assess your elements in your tuples. We can use either your index operator, that is your square brackets, or to assess an element we can also get through the indexing, that is starting from your 0. You can access the values in your tuples with their indexes, either with your nested tuples can access using nested indexing, or your negative indexing can be applied. Third, we can access a range of elements. Fourth, we can try to reassign a value which will obviously give us a type error. Okay, now what comes your assessing? How your likewise your nested tuples are assessed using your nested indexing, that would be the fine, but either if you use your more of the indexing, it will be giving you a type error. Okay, just remember this, that you don't need to have your type error commands in it. Now if we'll take an example about my tuple, this is we will be doing of assessing of tuple. Correct? If I'll write my tuple and I'll declare some of the value. And one more thing, both the pairs of your bracket is necessary. Neither you can apply one. Correct? If I'll only write program. Correct? Program. I'm writing this as a program. Let me just give one of the space in this so that it can look clean. Either it would be challenging, that is not a problem. When I'll print, let us simply print this my tuple. Okay, let us simply print this. When we'll simply print this, it will appear in my program. Okay, when we'll do the indexing of the tuple, and remember the indexing of your tuple has been done in your that square bracket. If I'll do the indexing, it will appear as a P starting from 0. If I'll do from 5, it will give me A. Correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct? The A point is there. So the index error will either give me if I'll write 10 over here, because I have exceeded the value. So it is a type error. Okay. So it cannot be fulfilled, neither it can be changed also. If again I'll write 1, the double indexing I'm doing, nested indexing. The output would be, if I'll do this double part, error is there, but it will appear as an R. Okay. Now what is your benefit of your indexing and how it is done? It is clear to you. Now moving forward to your changing a tuple. Unlike list, tuples are immutable. This means that the element of your tuple cannot be changed once it has been created. Okay, so if the element is already itself a mutable data type like list, it can be nested items can be changed. Okay, it cannot be changed with the standardization because I told you it is unmutable. Similarly to the list, we have few more operators over here that we can use. The plus operator, that is your concatenation. Then your repeating your element, that is your asterisk sign, that is your repetition operator. Okay, these are only and only resulted in new tuples. If I'll create one tuple, again I have to repeat that tuple. It will appear, but that will not give us the propositions of your part. Okay, now changing of your tuple, you know it cannot be changed, but deleting of your tuple can happen either only if you're removing, deleting cannot be happen because you know it is immutable. Now going to the adding of your tuples. Now I'll go through the adding of them. If I'll say that my tuple is hello. Okay, then second my tuple 1, I'll list this as a tuple 1, then my tuple 2, correct? If I'll say that this is bold. Okay, I'll add these tuples, my tuple 1 plus my tuple 2. Let us check the outcome. So it is hello world. Okay, my tuple 1 and my tuple 2, it is hello world. If you want to separate this out, okay, if you need to separate this out, you can give a space. No, this cannot, but over here you can give a space. It is your hello world. Okay, as an this is the part of your concatenation. Now if I have to repeat this, two times. If I'll say that I have to repeat this two times as in concatenation, as in repetition. So it will appear as hello, hello world. The two times it is repeating the tuple one. That is tuple one is your hello. Similarly to this, if you need, I'll make it asterisk and repeat as hello, hello world, world. Okay, it is your repetition and your concatenation both are solved. Now going forward, deleting a tuple that is not necessary and cannot be happen. Now comes is your Python tuple methods. So there are two type methods, that is count and the another one is index. In your method that add the items or remove the items are not available with the tuples. Only the following two methods are to be discussions about your methods, that is your count and another one is your text index. Okay, now count and index both are similar and cannot be formulated, and count means that return the number of element that is equal to x, and the second one is your index that will return index of first item that is equal to x. Both are different. Count means it will return the number of items, index means it will return the index of first item. Over here it's a very good example, that is your my tuple apple. Now if I'll print the total count of my element and I'll count my tuple also, it will appear the same, and if I'll index it, it will give me the indexing. Let us perform this. Okay, let us perform this. If I'll write my tuple, this is of your tuple method. I'll write that my tuple is equals to, again I have to write the program only. It's lengthy but still let's do it. Okay, program. Now if I'll print the total number of sorry total count of element. Okay, let me just check out this one. I think something is missing. Of p is okay, and then I'll print my tuple count. Okay, my tuple count, that is p. Okay, let us print this. So you can see in this part, just let me remove this part. What's if I'll say that the number of count of p in my tuple. So in my tuple p occurs only once. Okay, and again if I'll write the r or any of that, it is also appearing as two times. So the count is two times the total count of my r. Okay, if I'll run this again, the total number count of r is 2. Okay, that's how you can remember out what is the basic benefit of it. Now if I'll write the index of 1, similarly to this, if I'll write the index of 1, and the index of 1 is, and instead of count, let me just write index. Index of what? 1. Okay, let me just run this out. The problem is index of 1 is my tuple dot index. It should come through. Yes, let me know that no, in the part is the index of 1 is okay. No, 1 not correct. Okay, so indexing, it would be remembering out as p. Okay, so indexing of p is 0. Similarly, if I'll write the indexing of 1, it will give me 6. Okay, how many number of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? M would be your indexing of your indexing of what? Indexing of M. Okay, it is 6. So here after it has to be get through this. Okay, correct. Now the last part is the tuple membership. Okay, so tuple membership means if the test get correct or item exists, it will give us if true or false. Okay, if my if the number is there in my tuple, so it will consisting of this part. So let us do in this only. Let us do on this only. I'll write a program. Let's the tuple is there only. A is my tuple. If I'll write the P is in my tuple, let me just run this program, and that I think got something wrong. Print A in my tuple true. Okay. So the output would be similarly to this, that is it is true. Okay, and if it is not true, the variable will appear as in false part. I hope this much is clear to you, and whatever it is going through, you remember everything as well as in your list, string and tuple. Correct? So thank you so much for watching this.